Hi there. My name is Cody Woolard. I'm a student at Fullsail University, and this is a presentation I'm doing for my Design Tools class. This will be over the pistol at Makarov, or as we call it in the United States, the Makarov pistol. So this is me here. I've always been a big gun collector. I've always been interested in guns. Right now I own about 30 some guns, and in my lifetime of collecting guns, I've owned over 45. Um, I've always found the history behind the guns and the design of the guns very interesting. The person who got me interested in the Makarov pistol originally was my girlfriend. Is one of the first things we realized we had in common was we both had an interest in firearms. We both like collecting them. We both like going to the shooting range and practicing target shooting. And she suggested that I try the Makarov pistol. So I decided to look it up on the interwebs. And the more I read about the history, the more I found out why it was designed the way it was. And I found the story behind it very interesting, and I found this presentation, this assignment, a perfect excuse to share that with other people. As a design major, I find the design of pretty much anything interesting to me, being it a doorknob, a pistol, a light switch, packaging on a product, pretty much the design of anything I look at now. So this is the pistol. The Makarov pistol was a Cold War era gun, and it came about during a competition. And the competition was to replace the service pistols that the soldiers had in World War II, which was the TT-33 and the Nagant revolver. The gun was designed by Nikolai Makarov. And what they did was they were looking for a pistol that was semi-automatic and was concealable so that soldiers, police, KGB, their secret police, would be able to use it and carry it effectively, and they would only need one. Now, Nikolai did something very smart, I thought. Instead of trying to create a gun entirely from scratch, new ideas, or using existing knowledge from Russian gun design, he used plans that were stolen from a German gun company named Walther. The stolen schematics were for the Walther PP, which is pictured on the right there. And what they found was it was very similar to what they were looking for in a new service pistol, but it was very complex and it would cost a lot of money for them to manufacture in mass quantity. And the more moving parts that it had, the more unreliable it would be in the different conditions that it would be in. So what Nikolai did was he simplified the design. He took out as many moving parts as he could and simplified the mechanics of it. And that made it much cheaper for it to be manufactured and also made it much more reliable. Being able to manufacture a new service pistol for cheap and not sacrificing reliability and accuracy and effectiveness was very important because of the massive amount of soldiers that the Soviet Union had in their armed forces. Now, one of the other major design problems that they had was the Walther PP fired a 9x19 round, or 9mm Luger round. And that's a fairly high pressure round and it requires expensive material to fire safely. And they didn't want to have a cartridge that was similar to NATO forces. In case their ammo stores were ever taken over by NATO forces, they didn't want their ammunition to be usable by them. So they created a new cartridge that was shorter, lower pressure, and a little wider so that it would foul up NATO forces' weapons if they ever chose to use it, and they could use cheaper materials for the barrel. After Nikolai Makarov's design was selected as the winner, it became the new service pistol, and throughout the years it has been manufactured by many different countries. The most common of those three, and the most well-known, is Russia, East Germany, and Bulgaria. After I read about the history of the Makarov, I decided to buy one, but I didn't know which one to look for or how to figure out which one was the best and how to find country of origin. And I found this picture. These are the etchings that are underneath the safety, and this is sort of a manufacturer stamp, and this shows what country they came from. I found out from talking to collectors and reading more information about it that the two most sought after ones for use today are the East German ones and the Bulgarian ones, and those are the ones that are considered to be of more superior craftsmanship and have the better materials, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive. One of the things that buyers want to look out for in a Makarov is a few things on this picture here. You can see some scratching and dulling on the bluing. That means that the finish is going to come off and it could corrode easily. And also the safety and the hammer are red, and that's called copperization. That doesn't have a major effect on the performance of the gun, but it can reduce its value. The gun pictured on the left is made by Fullsail, and Fullsail manufactured a new Makarov to be imported into the United States, and you can see the difference on the back rear sight, and that is mainly the problem with them, is that sight is loose and it makes the gun wildly inaccurate. Those aren't the only problems, but those seem to be the most common problems that people run into. So those are the things that if this interested you and you would like to go and look at one and possibly pick up one, those were the things that you want to kind of look out for the most. Because a gun is an investment, and like that says, bad guns will make you sad. Well, thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you found the story and the information in it interesting. If you want to know more, there are 2 links there. Makarov.com is an excellent resource. And the people who own Makarov.com also wrote the Wikipedia page for the Makarov pistol.